Give me just a few seconds to hit all the right buttons and we can get things kicked off. Should have heard like a booting up sound if you can judge by the background behind me. All right, everyone. Well, I am dropping in the meeting agenda into the chat. Please feel free to add yourself to the attendees list if you've not already. I know I definitely need to do so still. Let me see here. Cool. Recording is kicked off. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the release team burn down meeting. Today is Wednesday, June 17th, and very excited to see you all here today. I don't have too much on my agenda, but we can wait until we get to my section. This is a Kubernetes meeting, so this does abide by the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which simplifies down to please be excellent to one another. And this will be shared to YouTube, so be mindful of that as well. With that being said, I'd love to kick it over to enhancements with Kirsten.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, cool. I see nodding heads. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Where our numbers are unchanged from Monday, and we're green, so we're doing pretty well. We are in the process of just pinging all of the enhancements to let people know about the code freeze change, just to keep everybody informed as well. So that's all that we really have to update for today. And that's it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kirsten. Any questions for enhancements? Awesome. CI Signal with Dan the Man.
Thanks, Taylor. So we are looking pretty good here. We're yellow just because we still have some flakes on master blocking, but they're pretty much all under control. Still having some issues with the kind tests. Still looking into those. Integration master started timing out semi-regularly, so probably need some further investigation there. Most of these flakes are related to timeouts. A couple notable events. I bumped static check in Kubernetes because we are seeing some flakes on verify master. So hopefully that's going to help with the pre-submit test as well. But with the bump, there are some actual static check failures that are introduced by the different checks it makes now. So those need to be updated. The container runtime issue that DIMS fixed for us a while back, or I guess that was just last week, it feels a while back, was also showing up on 1.18, so that is fixed as well now. All of the cluster API tests in informing were not notifying us of failures, which we are seeing them pretty regularly just from checking test grid, but now they've been updated to also send us emails. In that vein, CapG was failing consistently because of a change to the CI script over in their repo, but that has been updated, so thanks to them for a quick response there. But Cluster API AWS provider is now failing from a PR that was merged yesterday, but they have informed us that they're looking into that. So overall, looking pretty good. The one other thing to note here that's not a normal thing is the OpenStack job is still failing consistently. We don't have a lot of ability to do anything there. The OpenStack team is looking into it. They just need to change the way they've configured the cluster that's running on. So hopefully we can get that up and running, but that doesn't really affect the release process at all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. Yeah, if that continues to be a problem, obviously, feel free to throw it up and we can try to get engagement on that front if it continues. Awesome. Any questions for CI Signal? Wonderful. Moving on to bug triage.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So our status is current yellow, but the good news is that our numbers are decreasing. So with that reading, we're expecting to go green by the next week. We are on 27 not test flake Kubernetes issues for this is like 2 less than Monday, which is great news as well. There is only 2 critical urgent issues and 13 important soon, which is like -2 as well from Monday. For PRs, we are like 36, which is like 1 less than Monday as well, and there's no PR for with critical urgent labeled priority. And for important soon PRs, we are on 17, which is 3 down than Monday, which is great news as well. So, and for other issues for that in 119 as well, so we are like in 46, which is like -1 from Monday, and pretty much there's no other updates.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. Any questions for bug triage? All right. Dax with Divya.
Hello, everyone. Good day or good evening, basis where you are. So our status is currently red, and that's mostly owing to the fact that we haven't received a draft PR for 3 of the enhancements, and I've noted it down in the meeting agenda. And 3 of the enhancements that require documentation, they haven't submitted a draft PR yet, and we are yet to receive an update on the requirement for 5 of the other enhancements. So we will be following up with the SIG leads, respective SIG leads. However, wanted to throw it up for discussion if anybody has any queries or concerns or any suggestions on how we can get, we can be back on track given that the deadline is 19 June.
Absolutely. Sabitha did reach out to Nabarun and myself this morning and kind of brought this up a little bit. I'd say we might be able to check in a little bit later today to give the teams time to respond to those issues and get those PRs in. If they have not, maybe this afternoon we'll try to set a time, and then we can start to raise it up, bring it up to SIG leads if we have to. And then just keep escalating until we get a response on those. But no, definitely agree. We can start activating the bullhorns on that front. I can definitely take a look at those, and then if any other shadows or leads have any input on that too, always welcome. Any other questions for Dax or Divya? Fantastic. Release notes update with Wilson.
Hello, everyone. From release notes, we're green. We don't have new updates since beta 2 release notes.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Wilson. Any questions for release notes? Wonderful. Moving on to comms. I didn't know if I saw Max on the line. Anyone else from comms care to give an update on that front? All right, no worries. Release branch management.
Hey, we are green as well, so we don't have any updates since last Monday.
Fantastic. And keep the kubelet updates coming. It's always fun to check out on Twitter. Congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Emeritus Advisor Tim, got any updates for us?
We just had, immediately prior to this, our All Shadows meeting, the first of two. We'll have one also in about 36 hours, I guess. Evening tomorrow, my time, but that'll be morning for people in other time zones. Time being the complicated relative thing that it is. But yeah, we had a nice discussion. I think it's useful. The reason we try to do this is to make sure that shadows get a place to ask some questions and maybe things that I honestly think most of what we talked about this just before this wasn't things that would ever come up in this meeting directly, but they're great things to be talking about out loud and together, and useful orientation for shadows coming into the project, people new to the community or early career trying to balance all of these things. So I think it's really important that we provide that space, and I'm glad that we've set up this role and are making it a focus. It's part of how we keep this release team sustainable across time, make sure that people are coming in and being productive. So that's good. Again, I want to just encourage shadows to use that opportunity. We've got a mailing list for it, and just feel empowered to ask questions and learn about the project, about the SIG, beyond just your shadow release team role.
Cool. Thank you so much, Tim. And yeah, it's any feedback, any process improvement, I just want to give a huge +1 to Tim on that front. It's interesting, all of the different contexts, and it is hard to recall, some of them within certain times, definitely within the release meeting. I know as soon as the call ends, I usually have about 5 questions myself. So huge +1 on that front. Any questions for the Emeritus Advisor or Tim? One and the same. Awesome. Updates that I have for you. For this Friday, June 19th, is the docs deadline for the open placeholder PRs. As one of the deadlines that we moved out. We did get that update from docs, so we'll be reaching out to those teams if we don't hear back from them today and help with that deadline. The next deadline after that is July 6th on Friday. And that is another docs deadline. I have to double check that's Friday. I don't think that's right. PR is ready for review. So that'll be the next deadline on that front. And then thank you again so much with the 119 revisions that we made to the schedule. It was great to kind of have consensus and talking on that front. So thank you again for that. SIG scalability update. The latest update that we had from Matt was that all scalability jobs were green. So that is fantastic on that front. Moving into open discussion, one thing I do want to highlight, kind of relating to the note about shadows, is the end of the cycle we have is at the end of August. And I promise that you'll blink your eyes and we'll be there already. It seems like it's very far away, but it will catch up to us, I promise. Now is a great time to start thinking about retrospective items and getting those put in. It's always great to put those in when they're fresh in your mind, because obviously weeks in time, they kind of degrade on that. So as soon as you have an idea, feel free to put it in there. You can always take it out later. So I definitely welcome that, and definitely be a good idea to start putting some items in there. Other than that, I don't have anything else, and would love to open up the floor if there are any questions, comments, or concerns. Lovely. Well, a very wonderful Wednesday to you all. Thank you all for stopping on by, and I will see everybody on Friday. Have a great day, everybody.